Hey guys, as you're finishing up your Do the Ends Justify the Means project, I thought it would be helpful to give you a couple refreshing points about what makes a good slide versus what makes a bad slide, so you can keep that in mind when you're putting together your presentation. I thought we'd start by looking at what a bad slide is. So here's an example of what I think everyone would consider is a bad slide. First of all, it looks really boring. There's nothing exciting going on, not much that's engaging, doesn't draw my attention to anything. It's bland, there's just a bunch of words on a screen. As I look a little bit closer, I notice that there are some missing capitalizations, there are some misspelled words. If I look really closely, there's actually some inaccurate information. That's not what makes a good slide. It's also a whole bunch of words that clearly don't follow the 5 by 5 rule, and that's really distracting for an audience. They might not want to read all those things. If I saw this slide, I might expect that the presenter is just going to be reading off of the screen, and that's not exciting or engaging at all. I also would be concerned for someone sitting in the back of the room. It might be really hard for them to read the words because they're so small. So I think these are some things that clearly make this a bad slide. On the other hand, here's what a good slide might look like with a couple of simple changes, maybe a background, a new font, some simple animations, a picture that enhances what's being talked about. Following the 5 by 5 rule, we've got accurate information. All these simple little changes make for a much better slide. Now, this certainly isn't perfect, and there are some ways that it could be even better, but this is a simple way to make a bad slide into a good slide. These would be cues, this information here for the person to read from. They're using it to deliver their information in a much more engaging way while also helping the audience to keep track of what's being discussed. So just a couple of things for you to keep in mind as you're finishing up your Do the Ends Justify the Means project and trying to make the best slides that you possibly can.